progress. Hunting the antelope easily enough? Nothing like felling a gentle creature and ripping guts from it. That man's a lunatic, no? We have a saying for people like him in the Travellers, that he was born under the sign of the idiot. Good luck.
So simply Famor, so formidably bloody bones. Once companion to Issa, now enemy to the court. Once lover of Era, then bringer of death. Now forever in decay, forever cursed, never to enter the great cycle, forever alone.
These are Shine and Shadow? I was sent to recover artifacts of importance, not simple weapons. The Templars are going to think me a fool. How am I to return to them with these? There's like to be more dignity in returning empty-handed rather than bringing back such a small trinket. If you want them, they're yours. And I suppose I promise compensation in return for your service. I can't say I'm happy about it, but here's your coin. Now, leave me be. I'm off to Odessa to bring them the sad news of the expedition. Though Those brutes can't even imitate proper society for 5 minutes without some manner of civil collapse. Thank you for keeping them that way. My business is done here. I'm getting out of this horrible place and travelling back to Odessa. I had expected that they might be something like a miniature sun, a battery which held an intense magical reservoir. The Scholia Arcana had theorized about these kinds of objects, but I hoped the gnomes might have discovered them first.
Greetings! Have you found anything yet? Until later, then. My journal! Oh, I trust this wasn't too difficult to obtain. What of Horace? A shame that. Thank you for being brave enough to retrieve this, in spite of what happened to Horace. As we agreed, here is some gold for your trouble. I appreciate your help. Terrible, terrible what happened to him. I will remember Horace Despero as the bravest gnome I ever had the pleasure to meet. He was one fine, dedicated worker. You don't find that sort of ethic much anymore.
Listen, all of you. As you've clearly heard, a rare vacancy has occurred in the House of Ballads. There has been an event, a great twist in the narrative of our kind. Sir Sagril has fallen. Sagril, slayer of Ozigan, defender of the crown of Haxi, has been defeated. A death in the House of Ballads gives an opportunity, a chance for one hero to join the ranks of the greatest champions in fey-telling. Olain, Creth, Wenson the Bold. Do any of you, have the courage to pass the confirmation? If you do, your adventures will be sung to the heavens for all it.
Glynel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. And why would such a thing be revealed to a child of dust?
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Glynel, lore master of the House of Ballads. Give the codex over to him, and he may have your answers. I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right? The Codex of Fate is no simple lore stone. It's more subtle and complex than any mortal could comprehend. But a lore master of ballads may be able to interpret it. We are the charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. Glynel's one of the greatest balladeers amongst the Fae, and the most learned lore master you'll find outside of Issa. And as it happens, he owes me a favor. The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them time and again. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer. But he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. Lore Master Glynel has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fae stories. The codex he found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue. Be on your way.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. The fabled Codex of Destiny. When the Fate Weavers formed their order, our High King gave his own wisdom to assist them. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, but why did it reveal itself to you? Nonsense. All children of dust have a story that is written before you see your first dawn. Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm sure you think it is. I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. But this codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be... I'm sorry, but I must ask you to take it away. I will have no part in these lies. All of us in the Western Feylands are subjects of High King Tatarian. Our presence maintains the natural balance, bringing the green of spring at winter's end. We are the story that is told in every age, with different words, but the same meanings. We are the blazing summer and the brooding winter, forever following one another. We are, as we have always been and shall ever be, no more and no less. He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him. As antiquarian, I'm keenly aware of the lesser ballads in Fey telling, and do my best to ensure that they're not lost in the wide river of time. I'm Keeper of the Echo Stone here in the House of Ballads. It has only come to us recently, but I find its purpose most fascinating. It is a new relic crafted by several of our most attuned Fey mages. Usually the notion of new repels me, but in this case, I can't help but feel a spark of curiosity. The Echo Stone can be used like a lore stone to experience past narratives, stories that have long since left the lips of their tellers. However, one can only use the Echo Stone if he has the right matching cairn, a magical key devised by Hallam the White himself. The role of the storyteller is the most important to the Fae in the Court of Summer. He watches the telling as it unfolds. His gaze is not on one ballad, but all of them. His wisdom is above us all, even the lords and ladies of the House of Ballads. The High King guides us in all the grand telling of the Fae. For you, tales are naught but a reminder of your inevitable decline. But for the Fae, our tales are eternal reminders of our truest selves. Here we celebrate the very heart of our kind. The greatest of our tales, reborn and relived. Every creature has its story. The wake it leaves behind in its travel. That is a telling. It is a narrative of defeats and victories that give every life meaning. Our Fae telling goes on from creation deep into the hidden end. Until then, we celebrate the small songs, the ones that celebrate the spring in which we find ourselves. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author could tell you. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
day. How can I help you? You are the mortal I've been hearing about. How dare they say you're meek? Why, to me, you look as fierce as a troll. The songs of the House of Ballads are not simply stories. They are part of the magic that unites us all, summer and winter alike. They move through us like the seasons. There are some who believe our time of glory is on the decline, that our ballads will fade into mortal history like whispers. I say, never underestimate a good story. I can help you with any gems or shards. Speak to them on your behalf. It isn't as hard as you might think. Unless they're stubborn, of course. My telling is not one of battle and bravery, but of binding. I served Wenson himself back when the great ballads were new. We did not sing them then. We lived them. Goodbye.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. No, I bet my blades that it's real. Lionel may be a very learned scholar, but it's been ages since he had to learn anything new. Most Fae don't take well to new ideas. If this old fool thinks the High King would never have written the Codex, then it's all the more important that the High King see it. It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Nearlim is more of a what than a who. You'll understand when you meet him. With any luck, he'll be more favorably disposed to you than he is to me. He's bound to be curious at least. You'll find him in southeast Dalentarth, at Caer Nearlim. Just head towards the giant tree and, well, you'll see. That codex isn't just a complicated lore stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Titarian himself, no less. Interesting. That old coward. He may have lived 100 heroic lives, but he's lost the moment he faces something truly new. Pathetic. Nearlim is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. We've known for a long time that Prismere crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nearlim and I have our disagreements. Good luck with Nearlim, and ignore anything he says about me.
A mortal is a pledge.
This does not concern you, mortal. you would not, could not understand. One of our most beloved heroes has fallen. Sir Sagral's passing leaves his legend in peril. A seat in the House of Ballads cannot remain empty, lest the great stories end. And that must never happen. We are the collectors of tales, the warriors of lore, the most respected of all Summer Court heroes. Our deeds are known across the Fey lands. Our great knights, Wenson the Bold, Airmer the Pure, Olain the Kind, are destined to repeat their quests for all eternity, that no Fey may ever forget. They remind us of who we are and what we've done, of our greatest achievements and our deepest losses. The house ensures those defining tales are never forgotten. Sir Sagral, Slayer of Vodzigan, Lord of the Morning Mists, and Defender of the Crown of Haxi, was one of our most beloved knights. His tales have endured for generations. Several days ago he departed to do battle with the Grave Thresh, his most famous and legendary foe. But there was an event, a twist in the story. In this telling, it was the Thresh that bested Sagral. Such an outcome has never happened. I don't know what to make of it. You are bold, but that is not how tales are told in the House of Ballads. Only a worthy Fey hero may finish his quest, complete his story. However, these are strange times. Magic weaves itself in new patterns and change. It is the one thing with which we Fey have no experience. If you so choose, join the other pledges. You too may attempt to defeat the Grave Thresh, recover Sagral's ring, and take his seat in the House of Ballads. It is a popular tale, featuring the summer court's most treasured rogue. One afternoon, Sagrel, his head sleepy with wine and dreams of women, awoke to a terrible roar. The treacherous Maid of Windermere, villain of the House of Ballads, was summoning forth a beast from beneath the earth. She wished to send it against Wenson himself. When the maid departed, Sagrel tread into the beast's lair and killed it, only to realize that it was simply the first of many deadlier enemies. What a song! We are the soldiers of summer, the guardians of the light of spring. When our cousins in the winter court celebrate the darkening of the skies, we revel in the dawn. However, our cycle is changing. Everyone has noticed the fires on the sea, the monsters in the east, and the whispers on the lips. The summer court is in decline. For many seasons, the court of winter ruled alongside us as allies. There is no spring without the cool decay of autumn, no bright summer without the snow. Yet, even as our power wanes, theirs is mysteriously on the rise. Surely you have felt it. I am Hallam the White, seeker of the Stone of Val, Baron of the Drowned Forest, slayer of Argoth the Mighty, and Chamberlain to the House of Ballads. Many in the House of Ballads call me the Storyteller, for I watch over the Summer Court's anthology of experience. The lair of the Thresh is east of this great house, in the hollow of Gorgorth. In the evenings after dark, you can hear its disturbed slumber. The cries are unsettling. Go now, and make the song your own.
I wish you the best.
Good evening.
Can I help you? looking for a blacksmith. Forgive me. Blood plague, you know. A good smith is never out of work. Not in a troubled village this far into the She. I've got it, but not near as bad as some. Grey Gunner's laid up. So's that dear girl, Kareen. Cora brought us together. Now she and Olin can worry about strangers, and I can keep to my forge. I'd be shocked if she created that blood plague, despite what Cora says. That all?
Hello? Interested in blacksmithing or alchemy? You're welcome to our equipment. We're known all throughout Dalentarth. The best artisans, all under one roof. A village like Didenhill needs a man like Kester to watch over it. I know I feel safer now that he's our warden. Oh, I prefer not to speak of that spiteful witch across the lake. Our doors are always open.
The militia's store of potions has been used up. We lost our alchemist nearly a month ago. Now it's up to me to resupply reagents and brew the potions. Somehow. What? You mean Oleander's gone and got himself killed? Poor sod. More genius than sense, I always said. Where we crafters work and mostly live. Olin and Cora handle selling the goods. Didenhill's warden and war hero. I doubt any could have dealt better with the troubles we've had. Best thing against boggarts is flame. Old Oleander had a fine potion for that. I can manage a crude semblance thereof, when I've the proper reagents. Our biggest problem is boggarts, and the best thing against them would be fire. So it's fire potions. Tinder twig and scarwood bark.
They're out in Glendara Wood, but the wood's been far too dangerous for the likes of me. Makes sense, doesn't it? Wooden little things, after all. You do seem the brave and heroic sort. Well, the village has a fund. Tinder twigs often in that cave-like pass south of the lake. And scarwood barks found by the ruins in northern Glendara Wood.
Hello?
Nice to see you, my child. I hope all is going well for you this day. I have a request. A selfish one, but if you have any spare time... I came to St. Edric's to find peace. Peace and a place to study. It's quite scenic, and nature's beauty has always helped me think better. Puts my mind at ease. A dense and magical forest, home of the traveller's camp, and a place to find lodging or goods if you have need of it. They are a system of caves running through Haxi, said to have a hidden exit that holds a treasure on its cliff, if it can be found, that is. So much of the world around us is made of things we can look at, but never see. St. Edric's wants to show us a way to see those things, the meanings in them that go far deeper than their facade. From what I hear, it may be home to some of the best thieves around. I'm probably not the most worldly man, but I know enough to be on alert when I pass their camp. Well, it's Brother Padrick. He's a friend of mine. He left about a year's time ago in search of adventure. Said the monk's life was too bland for his tastes. He mentioned hearing about a treasure only found through a hidden exit from Split Rock Depths, that he might find it if he camped in Haxi for a bit. But such a long time has passed and no word from him. I'm terribly worried, and I thought you might... well, you could check up on him for me? Mitharu's blessings upon you, child. Bless you. Thank you so much. My mind is already at ease knowing you would take on this charge. If it helps, I would begin your search at Split Rock Depths. It is the only place he had mentioned by name. He was always looking for more adventure than St. Edric's could offer him. This made him an ambitious man. When he spoke of traveling and seeing more of these lands, there was always a sparkle in his eye. The man was such a dear friend. He even asked me to go with him. I hold no such ambitions for myself. Towards Haxi and into Split Rock Depths. Begin your search for him there. Another day, another blessing. how I pray my ears to see. Oh, it is true. The doubt in the back of my mind that was clawing its way forward is now here upon me. Thank you. Now I won't have to wonder any longer. Go in peace, child, and leave me to my prayers. Go with Mathara.
Welcome. Welcome to our haven in the She. I am Citric Vorm. My brother Arhaus and I give assistance to any wayfarer that may need it. You look a lot more hearty than the sort we typically get here. You might be able to help me. We lost our parents when I was young, and since then, he's always looked out for me. When he went to sea, I followed him. When he settled here, I did the same. My brother hired him, although I don't know why. Whenever there's work to do, Gunnar seems to disappear. We do allow strangers to stay here from time to time, though for a small fee. Would you like to rent a room? Let me know if you change your mind. It can be pretty exhausting out there in the She. Me? I don't have much to tell. I followed my brother to sea after our parents died. I enjoyed being on the ship. There was a solace there. But the ports, I cared little for the crowds. I know Arhaus misses the ocean, but I love the solitude of the forest. A dangerous place, to be sure, but I find its dark depths peaceful, the solitude a welcome change over the bustling ports of Rathir. But it's not without its lighter side. Just the other day, I saw our house go sprinting by with a brownie attached firmly to his arse. I've never laughed so hard. We've had several visitors from Datir tell us that they were savagely ambushed by brownies. Unusual. Brownies of the Shi are not that aggressive. They mostly keep to themselves and only attack when approached. If there is indeed a group of brownies ambushing travelers, then those monsters need to be taken care of. Good. I'll see that you are rewarded for your efforts. I still have trouble believing those brownies would be so aggressive. Most unusual. It's a barren desert full of greedy miners and vicious bandits. Our house and I did our best to avoid it when we traveled here, and I'd suggest you do the same. If there are indeed a group of brownies attacking people, then you must put a stop to it. Follow the trail to Datir. It is in the southern Shi. Find the brownies, get rid of them. See you later.
Welcome to our lodge. Surprised you made it out here by yourself. The Shi is a dangerous place. Lucas Soren, the poor soul in the next room. She did not fare so well. The Worms have always been traders. I took to the sea early in my life. I always knew I was going to captain my own ship. But fate has its way with you at times. After Rathir, I needed to get as far away from the sea as I could. I do miss the ocean, but I've come to realize that there are other joys in life. Gunnar showed up one day begging for help. Said he was a poor miner from Datir who lost his job when his mine shut down. Not sure I believe him, though. Hired him more out of pity than anything. I'm not sure he can actually do anything useful. She managed to tell me her name before passing out. That and a threat had attacked her. I tried to help her as best I could, even gave her my room to recover in. But nothing has helped. I'm afraid it's only a matter of time. The great Gokkulfar city in eastern Erethel. A great port with many a profit to be found. We must have sailed in and out of there more than any other port in the continent. But war has changed Rathir. They're not as friendly as they used to be. My younger brother. After I went to sea, he couldn't wait to join me. Our parents wouldn't let him. Said he was too young. But after they died, the sea was the only place for him to go. After the trouble in Rathir, I told him he didn't have to come with me, but he insisted that families stick together. This forest has been trying to kill me ever since we got here. If it's not boggarts springing out of the bushes, it's brownies trying to take a bite out of my arse. I tell you, I much prefer the ocean. At least the things trying to eat me there are down under the water. She was attacked by a thresh. Normally a fatal encounter in and of itself. Barely managed to make it here before passing out. That wasn't enough. She's had a rare reaction to the thresh's usually benign venom. Only thing that will save her is a rare plant found in the Shi. But I cannot venture out to get one. You will? Well, if you manage to bring me one, I'll reward you with what I can. I've heard that seerstalk grow near flowing, misting water, so you might try following the river north. I thought I heard the roar of waterfalls when I once wandered up there, but I didn't go far enough to find out. The Shi, you know. Another time, then.
The dust of the road rises to meet you, Wanderer. Welcome to Star Camp. I am Kilgaren. I am unfamiliar with the title the Knave of Coins. But as I understand, it grants me responsibility for this camp and its travelers. I know the lands and shadows and winding paths the travelers use. I heed no law or creed of property. For that, I am given leadership. When others feared to even speak to Fae, Grim came and introduced me to the travelers. Ever since, a more stalwart ally I cannot think of. This place has been walked by many, and this copse was hollowed ground once. We maintain it. You are young among our number. I would not color your perceptions of the Hierophant with my own. We are many things, but what the travelers are to most are thieves. We follow our own way. Then Grim has appraised you and found you of worth. But there is another you must appease, our guide, the anonymous Hierophant. Go to the Hierophant shrine in our camp and pray, as all travelers must. We have many freedoms and one chain. A traveler lives by his or her hands and guile. You must do the same. Trader Hayden sells items to supplement these skills if you need. Travelers have clever hands, but they are useless without the Hierophant, whose eyes guide us, a gift upon which we've come to rely. To receive the Hierophant's visions, we are commanded to pray at their shrines, and there are many who readily comply. May the wind be at your back.
What prays before me? An eddy in the river of fate, a cacophony in the song of Amalur. Your presence is unnerving, but you have come and prayed, and honored our creeds. You wish to make yourself a traveler? Then ask me for my portents. The price to admit you is great. It will take 3 treasures to balance the burden. First, there is a noble Elfwig Grilrakar staying in Dyden Hill. Steal his medallion. Then, in the nearby mission, claim the pall of the dead Saint Edric's. The last are Drog's toothpicks. We have contacted their owner, Gunnar Frode, to buy the items, but you will steal them instead. It is the rather valuable bauble of an old noble family. Rather mundane, but worth much coin to us. The daggers used by the fabled Jotun Warmaster Draug, though they were not his weapons, as the name suggests. The daggers used by the fabled Jotun Warmaster Draug, though they were not his weapons, as the name suggests. It is the burial shroud of Saint Edric. There are many collectors of relics who hunger for these artifacts, and pay dearly for them. Yes, some final warnings. Elfwig Grilrakar is a fastidious man. He will not suffer an approach he can see. The pall of Edric lies in his tomb, which is under many eyes. Wait until none are near before you claim it. And last, Gunnar Frode is shifty. He will not have the daggers on him or near him. Be warned.
Mitharu keep you. Bless you.
Wanderer. Well, it's always nice to see a passerby. You're the traveler I'm waiting for, eh? Shall we get to bed? The Worms know talent when they see it. I practically run this lodge for them. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, stay away from the star camp up the road if you can. Run by the travelers. Bunch of damn thieves. Lost nearly everything while dicing to them. Our house is leasing me this shirt for 1/3 of my wages, and it's got holes in it. Don't listen when people tell you that travelers only value the freedom to do what they wish. They also value what's in your pocket, and whatever else they can take from you. And that includes stripping your shirt from your back. Yes, I was recently contacted by Star Camp about selling the daggers, which I acquired at considerable risk and expense. So I think it's fair that I change the deal. I want to be paid in full up front. Then I'll notify you where the daggers can be recovered. That said, you can pay me now, and this can all be over with. I suppose you're right. I'd rather not get on the bad side of the travelers. I can part with the daggers for half of what I was originally asking. Wait, are you serious? I mean, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. I hid the daggers in the She. There's a map in my strongbox upstairs. You can unlock it with this key and claim the toothpicks. See you around.
So, there was indeed a group of brownies attacking those on the trail to Datir. Well, here is the reward I promised for taking care of them. Still, it is strange that brownies would act in such a way. I wonder. Our house found her outside one morning, barely alive, mumbling incoherently. From her ravings, our house figured that she'd been attacked by a thresh. Nasty creatures, those. Amazing that she made it so far after being so grievously wounded. A thresh is a vicious fey creature, a twisted spirit of the trees. You'll find them deep within the She. I steer clear of them, and I suggest you do the same. But if you find yourself up against one, set it ablaze. They make a merry bonfire. I've heard of something that could make them act that aggressively, but it can't be here. We must go to Rundamir. It is the largest brownie den in the She. I'm sure we will find the answer there. Make sure you are prepared. Brownies may look weak, but they are ferocious in large numbers. After you are ready, head south. Rundamir is a fey hollow on the edge of the She. I will meet you there. It is a fey hollow on the southern edge of the She. The brownies that inhabit it have never been more than a nuisance, until now. We're going to Rundamir to find out why the brownies have been ambushing people in the She. Goodbye.
A seerstalk! I cannot believe it! Here is your reward. You more than deserve it. I shall administer this to Luca at once. The seerstalk should make quick work of the venom. I haven't seen one myself, but I've heard they're dangerous things. Demented trees with branches sharp as razors. Normally they're surrounded by boggarts, so if you see any of those, keep your eyes open. The thresh may not be far behind. Safe travels. Greetings.
Hello there. Thank you, stranger. Our house tells me if it were not for you, I would not have recovered. I am not accustomed to such injury. Usually I am more than capable of taking care of myself. I have no desire to encounter that thresh again. I would not have survived if he had not found me. He's been very kind to me while I recover. I still feel weak, but I am better, thanks to you and our house. I came to the She in search of my father, who has been missing for some time. I thought he might be here, for he is obsessed with the Fey Hollows of Dalentarth. Our house was kind enough to offer lodging while I searched. He is a most interesting Varani. A quiet sort, but if you can get him to speak, he has a disarming sense of humor. He defers to our house when within the lodge, but it's Citric who takes the lead should they venture into the She. There was a time when all of Dalentarth was as the she is now. Primordial, ancient, knowing. It is a place of fey magic, both wild and immortal. Tread carefully in its depths. Nature, for all her beauty, can be cruel. You have not seen much of the world if you know not of the travelers. Entertainers, gypsies, thieves. They go where they want, when they want, and more often than not, take what they want along the way. I hear they are always open to recruiting new blood, so if you have a talent, perhaps you should introduce yourself. You shall not find a more malevolent fae. I had hoped to avoid them while I traversed the She. I fled as soon as I saw the Thresh. I did not flee fast enough. Do not make that claim lightly, for a Thresh is not something so easily overcome. In truth, I would walk easier through the She knowing the Thresh has been removed. Please reconsider, for though I wish to see an end put to this creature, I would not risk your life or that of any other. If you are determined to defeat it, I will tell you where I encountered it. But go with care, for I have no desire to send you to your death. The Thresh attacked me in the eastern She, south of the river. Normally, I would ask that you reconsider such a dangerous pursuit. But, because you are insistent, I shall tell you this. The Thresh is in the eastern She, south of the river. Later, then.
Well met.
There you are.
My father's got the cough.
There are bandits out there. This is
Can I help you?
Kester and Cora. They're the cornerstones that hold this village up.
Can I help you?
Did you hear? Thaddeus. Dead of the plague.
How are you?
Back, you imbecile! These robes are woven of Canerot gossamer. You won't touch them! Back, you imbecile! These robes are woven of Canerot gossamer. You won't touch them!
Did you hear? That is.
Good. You made it. It is as I feared. A Croddock has made its lair at the bottom of this hollow. We will need to find it and kill it. Croddock are vile beasts, which feast on the flesh of the dead. For some reason, brownies flock to them, eager to act as soldiers, often bringing back kills so the Croddock can feast. Be wary of Croddock. Their spit is deadly. Hard to believe she came so close to death now that she's recovered so quickly. Our house has been showing her around the lodge and talking her ears off about his days as a sea captain. Funny, I've never seen our house act like that around anyone before. The Croddock is sending the brownies of Rundemir out to collect corpses for it to feed on. That is the reason they've been ambushing wayfarers in the Shee. We must find it and destroy it. Be careful. The teeth of a brownie can leave a hideous scar. It is done. With the Croddock dead, the brownies should cease their ambushes and the trail to Datir will be safe again. Thank you for your help. I would not have been able to defeat the monster on my own. Another time.
Brash dustling. You have no role in Fey telling. This story belongs to one of us, not some whelp fresh from the cradle. First that strange maiden, now this. What is it you want here in Gorgoath? When you stand before the knights of the Court of Enchantments, you bask in the glory of all Fey. While all of our kind play a role in the grand telling, it is the feats of a legendary few that bear remembering. These knights lead the House of Ballads. I am Phaikon, speaker of renown the world over. I've claimed many ballads, but none so important as those sung by the Court of Enchantments. This is my third attempt at claiming a seat in the House of Ballads. Perhaps this telling will be the one. All Fey know of the storyteller. He is the caretaker of the telling and has been since the first spring began. There is no higher honor than to earn a noteworthy role in the telling. They make up the cornerstone of our shared experience. The House of Ballads' function is to ensure that the mightiest Fey heroes do not fade into obscurity, that they are always with us in the present. She approached each of us who is vying for an empty seat in the House of Ballads, sometimes in the forest, sometimes in the plains. Each time she offered reward beyond our imagining. All she asked in return was that we infiltrate the house as her agent. Needless to say, none accepted. Call it history or the past. Each life tells a tale. But there is no yesterday, as there is no tomorrow. It is all today, one grand and vibrant telling. Our narrative continues to be spun. Even your presence here, while strange, is part of the changing picture. The Beast and Gorgoath Hollow work together. Like lovers, the grave thresh emerges to feed and kill, to collect sustenance for itself and the Hollow. When it returns to its lair, the thresh is embraced by Gorgoath, wrapped in a warm, living shell that protects it until the next time they hunger. Alas, Agrel's is a twisted tale, and we could use every available hand. You may stay, but the seat will never be filled by a mortal. Of that I am certain. We were too late to catch the thresh as it fed. Now the beast slumbers guarded by the vines and weeds of Gorgoath. But all is not lost. If we can destroy the roots before they take hold, we can rouse the beast. Come, I'll keep the thresh occupied while you seek out the heart vines. Keep your eyes open. We are almost finished, and I am glad of it. This dip, keep your eyes open. We are almost finished, and I am glad of it. This, keep your eyes open.
Sir Sagril was a clever rogue of great and merry cheer. Oh, come and listen to the song of he who had no fear, of he who we hold dear.
We're not through yet. How can this be? Sir Sagril dead? I do not understand. Such a tragedy has never occurred in this song. Not in all the seasons of the telling. At the end of this ballad, Sagril defeats the Grave Thresh. He is victorious. I don't know how, but someone has changed the song of Sir Sagril. Listen. We are not alone. I do not like
2 times he drank his weight in wine, and many lovers pleased, and drunk from such idle pleasures, with lethargy was seized. On beds of grass he eased.
A child of dust has defeated the grave Thresh. What a tale you've claimed for yourself, my friend. You are granted the seat of Sir Sagrel and all privileges hereto, including membership in the Court of Enchantments. Alas, there is no time for celebration. There has been another incident. The king has asked for you. One similar to the plight of Sagril, I dare say. Another erratic chain of events. The Ballad of Bloody Bones has taken an unexpected turn. The great Sir Ferrara has been sent to face this new challenge, but he will need your assistance. That is how the song is sung. In every telling, Sir Ferrara falls at the hands of Bloody Bones. But he is not left to perish alone in the cold of Uduath. Sir Sagril, his knight hand, comes to him. Sagril revives the fallen hero and brings him back to the lights of this summer life. Without Sagril, without you, this ballad cannot be sung. Sir Ferrara tracks the villain Bloody Bones to his lair and rescues the fair maiden, sacrificing himself in the process. This is Ferrara's most selfless act, to give up his own glory for the good of another. It has always been this way, and must be preserved for all seasons. Excellent. Speak with King Wenson in the oratory. It stands on the crest of Ettenmere, where it once hosted the lords and ladies of the High Court. Take this potion. You will need it to revive Sir Ferrara. Unless mortals have suddenly created a method of resurrection, it's our only option. You will know when the time has come to use it. Now go, find King Wenson. The telling is in your hands now. A poor cursed soul who wanders the forest in search of his ancient love. She left him, for he was a cruel and lonely villain. Now he takes out his rage on the innocent. He is Wenson the Bold, Falcon of Detir, Annihilator of Elkmar, Captain of the Gilded Gorgon, Grasper of the Spear of Light, and Baron of the Forsaken Plain. Wenson founded the House of Ballads many seasons ago. It was meant to be a source of pride for all Summer Fae. Our glory belongs to everyone. If you must know, it is a potion I concocted with the aid of several companions. It will bring Sir Ferrara back from the brink of death, if used correctly, of course. This ballad requires his survival, and since the usual Sagril is not here to offer rescue, it is you who must do it. Many seasons ago, it was the retreat of the High King himself, where he hunted with the heroes of the Court of Enchantments, and was regaled with the songs of ages past. But that was long ago. The oratory, like so much of our beloved summer court, has wilted in heat of time. It is a hollow shell of what it was. The Court of Enchantments has marched south to face the threat and to quell rumors. They reside in the House Oratory in Ettenmere. Off with you.
Greetings to the court.
Hello there. Hello. Welcome back. What can I do for you? She's made a remarkable recovery. I knew she was a fighter. I don't know what her business in the She is, but I'm hoping she might stay a while longer. Safe travels.
Good day.
You are a force to be reckoned with. It's not easy to defeat such a vicious monster. Please, take this reward. My heart will no longer be filled with dread when I venture into the She. Farewell.
When Hallam told me a mortal had taken the open seat, I did not believe him. But here you stand before me. Impressive. It is a pity about Sagril, a grand hero. But there's not time to raise the king's token in his honor. We need every hand carrying a sword for the coming battle. We've come to aid Sir Ferrara, our brother in the Court of Enchantments. It is time for his telling of the Ballad of Bloody Bones. It is a ballad of obsession and sacrifice, one of the summer's oldest. Bloody Bones was not always as a terror. No, he was once called Famor, a counselor to Issa himself. Sadly, he was driven by lust, and by his need to possess whatever he desired. Taking Lord Issa's lover, he fled with her to his hollow of Uduath. When the maiden was rescued, Issa cursed Famor. He could not die, and his soul would never enter the great cycle. He became an abomination, known only as Bloody Bones. Every few seasons, Bloody would emerge and steal away a maiden to make his bride. That is, until he took the beloved of Sir Ferrara. We are legendary champions of the telling, brought together for the purpose of ensuring Summer Court glory for seasons to come. Like all other Fae in the Western lands, I am a subject of the Court of Summer, our wise council of elders. They are responsible for the well-being of our kind. There is no need to kneel. Honestly, I wish I could do away with all this king nonsense altogether. The tragedy we face, it is not legend. It is real. It is now. Yes, I am the acting Wenson. But the true king has been gone for many seasons. I am the 5th such Fae to hold the title. And at times like this, I wish I did not. It is an amulet, worn by all King Wensons in the telling. I wear it, as have all the kings who rose and fell at the mercy of the seasons. Only he who wears the king's token is worthy of walking in Wenson's stead, of singing the most important songs of the Summer Court. He is one who prefers action to discussion. A tempestuous firebrand who would rather pursue the mortal flesh than any other of life's mysteries. That is why his ballad is such a stirring one. Ferrara will always be the lovable rogue who finally chooses another over himself. Timeless is what it is. Few know the truth of the House of Ballads, that we are not the actual heroes of myth. Those knights have gone, passing into the cycle, or moving on to nobler adventures. However, it is our wish for the great songs to endure, that seasons of Fae would sing them before the fires. True power is in returning to what matters. So the House of Ballads was established, and worthy warriors were found to act in the roles of Wenson, Bellmaid, and the others. To tell these tales is a great honor. Ferrara went in pursuit of his nemesis, for Bloody Bones has emerged, poised to abduct a maiden to be his mistress. So goes his song. You will need to revive Ferrara after the battle. I can only assume Hallam would not have sent you unprepared for this task. Go to Ferrara, and quickly. When the two of you finish, I will await you at the House of Ballads in the north. Do be careful, Sagril. Uduath is northwest, on the shores of Ettenmere. It is sealed by a powerful spell, but Bloody's magic is weak, and you should be able to gain entrance. Good luck.
Is this Wenson's idea of humor? Well, you look hardy enough. Won't botch the tale of Bloody Bones too badly, I suppose. Still, I'm curious as to how Hallam expects you to bring me back from the edge of the Great Cycle. But that's his problem, not mine. They are Almain, settlers from the west, searching for a place to plant their flag. Poor creatures. I've never seen such terrible luck. Camped just outside Uduath, right in Bloody Bones' warpath. Better they had cut their own throats. A kinder fate. I've always known my place has been among the heroes of the court. What other outcome could there be for one so deserving of adoration? You dustlings have a similar concept. I believe you call it death. But there is no elegance in your mortality, no poetry. Those of my kind perish, only to have their magic pass on into the Great Cycle, where it returns in kind, reborn into a world that welcomes such new beginnings. The Duke of the Cursed Fomorians, Slayer of Pombero and Protector of the Mabinogi. But you may call me brother. I have fought with the lords and ladies of the Court of Enchantments for 3 seasons. My skills with the blade and in the bed know no equal. A close companion he was, a true brother in your mortal understanding of the word. I trusted him, I had to, as he played such a vital role in my most memorable song. Is there any other way to view the warrior who saves your life time and again? Let me be truthful with you, Dustling. I've never seen Bloody Bones act so erratically. He cares nothing for the story, as if he craves a different outcome. Instead of spiriting away a young mortal maiden, he took an entire camp. Men, women, children. It's mad, and certainly not part of the tale. And I thought this ballad couldn't get any worse, considering my impending demise. Well, let's get this over with, shall we? Back to work. around here.
Be anywhere.
So the witch was right. Help has come from Sir Ferrara the Fair, who flounders in the puddles of Uduath. Such a champion should never lose his way, not in his own song. You, new knight, leave now, forsaking the last prisoners, and I will share with you my knowledge. How I came to change things. Stay, and you'll have nothing but corpses. They are safe, but while mortals have no cares, they also have no time. I can keep them here in Uduath for as long as I wish, until they are but dust. Oh, I don't know who she is. I don't care. What concerns me is power. The power to end this pitiful design. In every song, the summer champion triumphs. His enemy falls. How long has this been the way of the telling? This existence. It is not a life. It is not a death. It is a snare in which I have struggled for centuries. No more. That's true. My intent was never to do harm. All I want, all I have ever wanted was love. Not to be alone in my eternal grief. Fine. The prisoners are free to go. But you shall take their place. You shall be Bloody Bones' new desire.
Well done, Sagrel. You have proven yourself worthy of the name. Hallam's trust in you was not misguided. I don't know what to make of Bloody's tale, but it has the ring of truth to it. We must return to Wenson and tell him what we've learned here in Uduath. Keep moving.
The hero... I am relieved to see you well. What is happening? First Sagrel, and now Bloody Bones. These are shocking developments. Listen, Hallam and I have been discussing what transpired in Uduath. You are needed for a very special quest. A song of your very own. You must travel to the home of Tenwa, also known as the Librarian. It is an important journey, not without its perils. I know little about the Librarian. Only that she and Hallam have spent many seasons studying the ebbing tides of magic and how best to preserve our ballads. She is an odd creature, quite aloof and reclusive. From what I've heard, she enjoys the scholarly arts of men with all their brittle, ink-stained quirks. Do not rouse your mortal worry for Hallam. He has left the court seeking answers to our many questions. He will return in time. If someone is corrupting the songs of this great house, Hallam will find them. He is the storyteller, and he knows our ballads better than anyone. Go to Tenwa's cottage in Haxi. She will be waiting for you. Retrieve a ballad from her collection of fey cairns. It is called The Hero and the Maid. Bring it to me, and guard it with your life. Its worth cannot be measured. The library is a collection of special lore stone called cairns, in which are kept the greatest of summer court ballads. As long as they are safe, so too are our songs. The library was not Lord Issa's idea, but the inspiration of Hallam the White. He created the cairns and cast the spell that protects them. The world is changing. Everyone knows it, even if some choose not to accept it. Even as summer court magic weakens, our library of lore will remain strong. I do not speak of magic with a knowing tongue, but I do know that the persistence of Fey songs is eternally linked to the enchanted lore stones in which they exist. When mortals began to use magic to create, change, and even destroy their own lore stones, it was decided that the ballads of the Summer Court needed better protection. The cairns are a new kind of lore stone, Hallam's way of keeping outside influence from affecting our stories, from corrupting them as the days pass and seasons transpire. Her cottage stands in the gap between Yolvan and Haxi, southeast of here. It is an isolated spot, safe. Tenwa is expecting you.
What is it?
Back, you imbecile! These robes are woven of Canerot gossamer. You won't touch them!